The views expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent the views of this station or its management.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Good afternoon and welcome to Real People, Real Life. My name's Robin Lace. Yes, you've been hearing.
Welcome back, Robin.
I know, yay!
Welcome back, Robin. Yay!
I've been waiting so long to say this. Welcome back. Real People, Real Life. And Lord knows I've been living some real life lately. So
Right.
I think that we all have, there's been a lot going on.
How's it feel to return to humanity?
Oh, it feels wonderful. It feels lovely. Yeah.
Back
it
in
does.
general.
Yeah, I feel like, and we've interviewed prisoners before. I know I have interviewed several, and I've been to the prisons and interviewed them there too. And what is that, general population, right? I'm back in Gen Pop, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I am back in Gen Pop.
Solitaire.
Yeah, I'm no longer in solitaire, whatever. Isn't that just, how hilarious to relate it to that?
Yeah.
But seriously, I've seen some pretty crazy things.
Yeah.
I really have. There was something I put up today when I was talking about, and I just am going to probably have a while here before I can say anything nice about Mr. Palm, whatever.
Hey.
Palm.
Hey.
Anyway. Yeah. But I saw some today. Troy Dowdy was talking about how, if we want real change, we need to put new people in office. And I know some of you guys saw that. And it just really, I knew if I put that on my page, I was going to have people mad because he was just here, as a matter of fact, in El Dorado, and was standing there saying, we need to get, Pompeo back in there. We need to get Pompeo back in there. And I'm thinking, no, wait, which is it? You're here saying, if we want real change and we want, real difference, we don't want to put the same people in office. Okay, but not 2 weeks ago.
On the grand scale of things, Pompeo is pretty new.
Well, on the grand scale of things, I would give him that. And we got Pat Roberts back, going on, 47? Why don't he just, really?
Well, at least he had opposition so he could come back to Kansas this time and entertain us.
Well, what did
We're
you
lucky. We're very fortunate.
So
He actually used his lounge chair.
He did.
He actually got to sit in his lounge chair for a little bit. Yeah.
Good man.
He
Pat
might have
Roberts.
watched this program.
Oh, you think?
I hope so.
There's a
If
chance.
we're not on the cable in Virginia, so I don't think he's going to see us.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
he won't
don't
see us
know.
anymore.
You can check it out on
Friends
YouTube.
on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true.
You can check it out on YouTube.
That's true. It's where all the smart people are watching us. Too.
I know, right? I know. And actually, it's Bacon Rocks 22 on YouTube,
Yeah.
in case you guys want to catch the show on YouTube. But it's nice to be sitting here with you guys. Dawn, what's been going on with you?
Well, not a whole lot. We had a great weekend out in the garden. The weather this year has been fantastic for growing your home garden. So
Yeah.
we did a lot of good stuff out there. Harvested a bunch of tomatoes. Been eating homemade tomatoes with cucumbers.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for the watermelon. The green peppers are getting bigger. It's just a beautiful day.
Oh,
Beautiful
right.
weekend.
Are you hungry, Joey?
I'm always hungry.
Yeah.
You're over here kind of like,
You got any bacon you can put with that?
Not yet, but we're thinking about. Well, we don't know.
Did you find the bacon seeds? Man, I've been looking forever.
I've been
Yeah.
looking for a bacon tree forever.
Thinking about getting the eggs.
I
part
found
of it,
donut
huh?
seeds.
Nuh-uh.
They're in a big yellow box.
Oh, really?
Did it
Yeah.
have a stick? Was it propped up? And did it say free donuts? Because that's a trap.
Oh, wait a minute.
Don't fall for that one.
It's just on the shelf. I think they call them Cheerios.
Oh, God. Oh, okay. Where did that
You
come
buy a
from?
whole box of them.
Yes.
Hello. Vasa, honey, finally.
Right. I'm so
I know.
glad to have you here.
Oh,
with me.
girl, it's so nice. I know. I
exciting.
get to sit next to the young, voluptuous blonde, and I'm just kind of over going, okay, chop liver, whatever.
What? Wait,
Anyway,
you're blonde.
yeah, well, I would say gray now, more like it, but that's okay. I can get that taken care of. How you been doing? What's been going on?
Great, kids.
Yeah.
It's been enrollment time, so that's hectic, But I agree with Dawn. The weather's been beautiful.
Fantastic.
I realized I was growing 2 onions that I didn't even know I had in my garden, and
Well, that's always a nice surprise.
right. And so
Garden
it was kind of
surprises are
exciting.
always nice.
Hey.
We found a
How did
cantaloupe.
the cactus thing go?
It was good. It was good. A lot of gorgeous cactus. So it was
I've
pretty
seen
cool.
that. That's awesome. Yeah.
It was cool.
We had a wonderful time with our last week's guest,
Yeah,
informing
yeah.
us about it.
For
So
the- yeah,
I had to
for the-
find out.
17th annual Rare and Exotic Cactus Show. Now, I think there's still going to be some cactus that some of the growers wanted to leave at Karma Connections this week.
Awesome.
Because a lot of people didn't get a chance. We got so many phone calls, people saying, God, I'm trying to get the kids enrolled in school, just
And
don't
it
have the
rained
budget.
all
And it was
weekend.
rainy, and so we're going to leave some there.
Well, that's on East Douglas, right? Right behind
Yeah.
Washington.
Yep, 1123 East Douglas. So my little hippie heaven.
I know, right? It's this
It
little
is.
slice of heaven right
It
in the middle
is.
of chaos.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It
Tuesday
really is.
night,
Yeah.
we got to enjoy Joe's hospitality.
I know,
out at Stick.
Joe, what's up? Loved your place. Awesome food as always.
Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Hope to get you out there more often. My summer hasn't been so great. I'll be the odd man out. I don't
I
like
know.
this weather. This weather makes it real rough on pool rooms, and
Right.
I've been in a never-ending battle with the city all summer long. So it's,
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about that. Well, I didn't get to, but I know you all got to last week with Carl Peterjohn on the lead paint. And
Yeah, lead paint, and now they're going after the club over signage. So it's
What, you don't have enough?
no. We've got a sign pole that's been standing out there for the 8 years now that we've owned the property, and the city would never allow us to have an electrical permit for it, and they give the sign companies grief every time we look at doing it. Well, now we got bids upwards $8,500 to $10,000 to try to put a sign in it.
Sure.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Goodness.
So we put a container out there and put our signs on the side of our storage containers. So now they come back with, well, LC zoning doesn't allow that. So while it's allowed with every other kind of zoning, it's not allowed with LC zoning. So now they're going to make us move our containers. So we're back to having no signage as soon as we got that moved. So the city wants everybody to have a job. The city wants tax money. The city wants you to have no way to accomplish either. The city wants everybody to repair their properties, but then they don't. They
sounds like-
won't get out of your way to let you do it. So.
They don't give you the
always
permission
something.
to do it, but they insist it gets done.
They
It's almost
required on a
ridiculous.
property we had to demo. We had a property on Millwood that we had to tear the house down because the house got destroyed by some people that broke in there and just trashed the place. And when I found these people living there, I went to throw them out, and the city made me leave the property and told me I had to evict squatters. So they destroyed the property, and then the city comes back and takes me to court saying I have to tear down the property. So we sent a crew over there that totally tore down the house, and then they came after me because we did not get a permit to do what the city ordered me to do.
That's where I just don't get. I don't get.
yeah,
It's so
Like we need a
frustrating.
new sheriff in town almost.
Yeah,
A new mayor, that is.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost like
that
pointing out a
election's coming
problem
up
and
next-
guaranteeing you're not
next
going to get
spring.
a solve
A
it.
solution. Yeah,
No
that's
solution.
been one thing that's really kind of been, we sit here, and at least I do, now that I get to kind of talk a little bit more about stuff, I just sit here sometimes and I'm like, okay, here's the problem. And sometimes it's just plain as day, or you can put it this way, it's as plain as a nose on your face, whatever, okay? It's right there. That's the problem,
Yeah.
okay? And why can't we simply identify the problem, okay, and then come together, okay, with options and opportunities to fix the problem, and then let's
On the
vote.
paint issue, it becomes really ridiculous when you consider the city has a paint dump. You can go get free paint from
That's
the city.
absolutely right.
It's this
Right.
off-white stuff because they pour everything into
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So it comes out this off-white color.
Right.
And the city can't give it away fast enough. Most of it goes bad, and then they've got to figure out what to do with this so-called toxic waste. At the same time that is going on, the city wants all these people to go out here and paint all these houses. And if these houses are older than 1978,
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
have lead paint requirements, which stands to reason because of the nature of paint. There's very little lead paint left in these old houses anyway. They've been
Right.
painted too many times and
Right.
scraped too many times. It's a red herring. So why doesn't the city with central inspection come along and say, well, that house needs paint, and here's the paint you can do it with if you don't have the funds to fix it?
Exactly.
Sometimes it's the simplest answers that they're just not even willing to look at that I don't understand.
Especially when it's two programs of their own, that they could just like join hands and solve
I have
the
come to the
problem.
conclusion it's a comfort. If I wreck my bike and become a vegetable, obviously I can work for the city of Wichita. It's a comforting thing. You never
Yeah.
have to worry about it. There's a job out there for everybody.
I would say that we've got some really, really good city officials. You should see the job they did on making the case for that 14% sales tax hike that they're looking at. They're going to, well, actually,
My
today,
goodness.
they put it on the
Did they
ballot
put a
for
lot
the-
of effort into that? Did
They
they?
did. And what a presentation they've done. Fantastic job. We should be proud as now whether you support the tax or not, they did do a good job of educating.
Okay, well then there you
There
go.
you go.
Okay, yeah. Well, whatever. I don't think that the people really support it much, though, from what I've seen.
Well, they produced polls that claim 65% of the
Well,
people want to pay more.
yeah.
Well, that's
I
a
am
whole
a true
nother
believer
show,
in
isn't
polls.
it?
That is a whole
Isn't
nother
that?
show.
Yeah, I'm a real. I'm just
You like the polls?
Wrong group.
I'm just a firm believer in
I like
polls
all
these
them
days.
firmly accurate news stories.
Oh yeah, those.
That's like all the arguments on Facebook. Well, I'm
know.
going to post my link because it says that my view is correct, and then
know.
somebody else posts another link. Well, no, my view is correct. My link's bigger than your link. Well, my link will beat your link.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna settle that right
My
now.
link's longer.
Oh, is that what it is?
Whoa.
I'd like to
Yeah.
change the subject. I had a dream about you, Joe. And can
Oh,
I I'm
Lord,
sorry,
Lordy.
but no.
I knew it would
No.
happen.
On the dream, you guys had rackets, like the Rockettes, but rackets at your club.
We want to do that.
And I was one of them.
We're going to put this together.
Let's
we,
do
We've
this.
tried to do that before, where we bring in a bunch of girls and they charge $1 a rack, and then see how mad at their money they got.
Well, and I also, in my dream league, we did a routine.
And don't look at me because I wasn't in the dream.
Look, she was not dressed like
I was not in the dream. I'm promising you.
But yeah. Anyway, I was just gonna throw that out there.
So when are we making that happen?
Okay, let's make this happen, girls. You guys hear about it? You guys want to be a racket? Come down to Sticks.
Clothing's optional.
Oh, no,
no.
I don't think you have the right zoning for that. You really want the city mad at you? Go there.
Negative
Go
Ghost
there.
Rider.
If you've got the right zoning and the
They're
proper
already
polls.
mad.
Yeah, that's it.
You're
Yeah.
not in the
You might as well go ahead and do it
correct
at this point.
You're
you
too
know.
deep into
Already
town, I
mad at
think,
me.
sir.
Oh, you might as well go ahead and do it.
Anyway.
I mean, let's, add a little flavor, like the city doesn't have enough
Yeah, the
concerns
city's
right now.
upset with me to begin with because that club sits in the middle of 5 churches. So
Yeah, I know.
You know, I noticed that.
They sell chicken.
How did they
That's like
feel
a-
at
you know,
4
you're
o'clock
like a
in the
pressure
morning
cooker,
on
like a
Sunday
bow
morning?
he is.
I'm
Yes.
the neighborhood antichrist.
Oh, Lord.
You know, I used to
The
live
things
out
that we do,
by Newton,
and the
and I
places
would,
we go.
I would wear a swimming suit while filling up the swimming pool, and it's very like Mennonite.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell
And
you what,
I
you
was
guys.
the devil.
We are going to take a little bit of a break, okay, for just a minute, and we will be back. Okay, we've got some pretty interesting guests. Obviously, we're going to have Jennifer Wynn. Okay, she'll be coming on here in just
Very
a little
good.
bit, and then of course we're going to talk about locks, gun lock safety, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. Yep, with NAP weaponry. Wow, I'm talking again. It's hard to believe. All right, real people, real life. We'll be right back.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Credit King Auto Sales is getting better all the time. We're doing it better. We're doing it better all the time.
Saving you money big time and saying thank you, Kansas, for making Credit King Auto Sales the #1 buy here, pay here dealer. #1 for sales, service selection, and customer satisfaction. Right now, our summer blowout sale is going on with, get this, 2 years of free gas. Only at Credit King Auto Sales at the King's Corner, 31st South and Broadway. GoCreditKing.com.
Hammond Liquor, home of the coldest beer in town and the lowest prices store-wide. For all your special events, your friends at Hammond Liquor have what you need, from beer, wines, spirits, champagne, and more. Open till 8 p.m. every Sunday. Hammond Liquor, West Kellogg and Tyler Road. Hammond Liquor, home of the coldest beer in town and lowest prices store-wide, wants to remind you of very important savings days. Wine Day, Tuesdays get 20% off. Beer Day, Wednesdays get 10% off. Microbrews and imports. Open till 8 p.m. every Sunday. Hammond Liquor, West Kellogg and Tyler Road.
Knapp Weaponry is the home of Wichita's newest indoor temperature-controlled shooting range. Mention this ad for 2-for-1 pricing weekdays from noon to 4. Knapp Weaponry is an NRA Business Alliance member that offers NRA and state-certified instruction classes, training, and women's unarmed self-defense classes. We buy and sell new and used guns and offer gunsmith services. Knapp Weaponry offers a free range session with the purchase of a new gun. We also offer transfer services and an array of ammo. Knapp Weaponry, the West Side's best-kept secret. At Trailer Town, we're all about selection, service, and safety. Trailer Town Selection, hundreds to choose from, small to large, lightweight aluminum to heavy-duty steel, all types, new and used. Trailer Town Service, the best in the Midwest, from wiring to axle repair. Trailer Town Safety, yes, we do Department of Transportation inspections. Trailer Town, trusted, family-owned, 301 West 53rd Street North.
At Economy Motors, we know that everything costs more these days. Gas costs more, utilities cost more, groceries cost more. But what's one thing that will not cost you more? Buying your next vehicle with us. Everything we have is priced $12,995 or under. Bad credit, no worries. No crazy gimmicks and no bait and switch. We keep it real. Economy Motors, home of Easy Pay. We've got your back.
Don't worry, please, don't worry, 'cause at Economy Motors, we got your back.
Good evening once again. It's real people, real life, and sometimes it just doesn't get any more real than this.
I'm telling you.
For real.
I would agree.
Okay, and so we're going to get to our guest for today. Jennifer Wynn. Feels like I haven't seen you forever.
I know, because we feel like we've climbed a mountain and fell off.
I know, right? It's been interesting.
Yeah.
So
we got the wind knocked out of us, but
that's okay.
Temporarily.
Yeah, only momentarily.
Correct.
So I wanted to make sure that the first chance I got to come back, that we got to bring you in and you guys can kind of hit us with your best shot. I mean, ask us what it's like, to step out of living our day-to-day lives, and dealing with our families and just the work, business, those type of things, to putting yourself out there, like we have. I mean,
I bet it is hard, with family. Anytime you commit to anything that's time consuming, right away you're taking from them. So how did your daughter, how did your kids and your family deal with it?
Well, mine have kids now. So,
Grandma's had big responsibilities.
For them, it was a difficult challenge because Grandma wasn't keeping the grandbabies every Friday night. And so it was back to, they didn't have that to fall back on because Grandma was constantly on the road. And my husband kind of stepped up and filled that role. I actually witnessed that yesterday when my grandson, who will be 1 on the 21st, actually preferred my husband.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
That's devastating.
It's only temporary.
I'm certain of it. It's like batch of cookies back to normal.
You do realize the sacrifices that you make, and you get tired, and you push. I think everybody gets pushed to the limits. I think it was hard for my husband, even myself. I know our husbands. They were huge
troopers.
Yes.
Trooper, definitely. I mean, Keith had to keep. Keith had to keep going. He had to keep the businesses going, and then he's got to prop me up and keep me going, and
you never see the guy behind the the screen, really. You know what I'm saying, and everything that's done, but it wouldn't happen without them.
It wouldn't. I mean, and my staff really stepped up, and they really pulled in their roles and they performed. I didn't have very much to worry about, which is what you always hope for in a situation, whether it's because you're running for office or you end up in the hospital with your father or whatever. You hope that your staff that you've worked with for years and years and years will pick up and just keep moving forward, and they did. And so I was very proud of that. Because that's not an easy task. We're very divided in different divisions, so it was very challenging. I don't have a moment of regret.
Well, and I'm glad.
As far as I'm concerned, and I think I told Robin this the other day. Unless somebody steps up and actually does what the people ask them to do, and actually represents the people themselves and not their corporate agendas, not the special interest groups, but actually represents the people. We intend to come back in 2018. I don't intend to sit idle during that 4 years. I know Robin's not going to sit idle.
I'm hitting snooze.
She's not.
I'm going to be coming out of the saddle.
So I'm going to push forward, and I would hope and pray that someone whomever is elected would represent truly the people, and if they were to do that. We wouldn't have to keep fighting.
Right.
The fight would be over. But I don't foresee that.
Right.
I don't foresee that, and that's sad.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
And I
It's
don't
very
think
sad.
you guys should have any regret. I absolutely look up to both of you for what you've done and what you'll continue to do. I really do.
Yeah. And it's a fight. I mean,
kudos to both of you.
And people are. I've had people that were in panic mode. They were just in panic mode, and I had a gentleman that's been a supporter for quite a while that was in tears, didn't know which way to go, doesn't know what to do, and is looking, for the answers because they feel like they've lost hope. And that the one hope that they had
is gone. But it's not. You guys aren't going anywhere.
No, it's not. And here's what I told them. We restructure. I mean, when we start companies, when we start businesses, what do? We plan them, right? We plan out, we target our customers, who's going to do what, who's going to sell what, who's going to produce what. You have a plan of action. So what we have in essence now is we have a plan. And that plan needs to be getting bigger, getting stronger, uniting, stop the chaos and this action. Everybody knows I'm not a party person. I'm a party person if you have karaoke. But I'm not a party person.
Set that up.
I think I know a guy right here that does that for a living.
Right, but I'm not the person that's going to look at what the party is. And I know there are folks that do that, and that's fine. That's their option. That's their right. But it's also my right. And I'm not going to look through the eyes of party ever again. Ever. That's just not who I am. I stand for what I hear people, and I think you would agree. We listened. For the first 3 months, all I did was listen. I had 2 rallies in the first 3 months. That was it. The rest of the time I spent listening, educating myself on people, their views, where they are, their struggles, what they're going through. And that is what I think propelled the campaign to reach 95,000 people.
Yeah.
They asked me, how much do you think of your 95,000 people just strictly voted for you because they want Brown back out? How much would you say, Robin?
Oh, how many times we run into people saying they would just about
No,
vote
but
for-
strictly because.
No,
strictly because
they just didn't want Brown back.
Boy, that's tough.
I would say that everybody would probably have a laundry list of reasons why they wanted you.
I would
it's
say
not
less than half.
strictly.
The
just-
experts said about 20 to 25% of the
Right.
vote would be Brown. If nobody would have ran, there'd have been that many people voted against him.
Right. And
So-
I would say
You
my
did- you almost
feel.
doubled that. You
Yeah,
doubled
my
that.
feel though was really, I thought maybe about 10 to 15% that had never come in contact with us, had never read anything.
We're simply just voting for you because you're
right,
there
and just
It was a
simply
different name on the
said-
ballot.
Right.
Yeah.
And I met some of those individuals. I met one in Kansas City, as a matter of fact. Said, I voted yesterday, and I'm proud to say that I voted for you by default.
There
and
was
that was
there was a lot
shocking.
of that.
One of the things now you mentioned earlier about a supporter that was beside themselves because you lost.
Right.
And it seems simplistic to say that the reason you lost because you didn't have enough votes. How do you get people to go from we never vote or we seldom vote to voting in every election? How do you cross? Because that's what you did.
Educating.
But you needed more than that. Is it just education?
To me, once they actually know the truth, once they actually know the whole story, and they're not just feeding off of media and ABC and CBS and NBC, I mean, really, once they know, they connect. And they are shocked, they are angry, they are appalled, and then they're ready. See, that anger almost turns into that fuel that drives them. So to me, the ones that got up, I had an RN that was 38 years old. She's never registered in her whole life to vote. She's an RN. And you would think that, right, college educated, they're going to be registered and they're going to at least, nope. This was the first time she's ever voted. And why did she go vote? Because she was angry when she learned about the truth. Angry enough that it motivated her to get up and take those steps. And she was suspended. See, they automatically, they put her on the suspension list because she had an out-of-state birth certificate.
You're punished for having an opinion.
Oh, yes, you are, and you're suppressed.
See, and I think the other answer to that is exposure. I think that exposure is the answer. Like, more knowledge, of course, is power, but I think exposure, people need to be informed, and until you've reached everyone, and I really believe that everybody's been lied to for so much, it's hard to do it through media. You have to do it face to face, one-on-one.
Well, that's one of the reasons for the show, though. I mean, if you guys, some of you guys that were with me from day one, okay, when I said I wanted to do this show, Dawn, okay,
Yes, I agree.
the whole purpose for it is so that it's not going to be, and today's weather is really, just look out the window. Okay,
Clear
I
and
think you can
snowy.
figure it out. There you go.
You're in Kansas. It's going to change in 10 minutes.
It could change in
anyway.
10 minutes. So, and that's something that always cracks me up. The weatherman that gets paid, $100 grand and it's wrong 50% of the time. Sorry, weather friends. Sorry.
wanna
But
be a
anyway,
weather girl,
but the news, the media, sometimes, and I did say this, and I'm going to sure say it several more times. There are people in media that they live for the next headline. Okay, they cling to that next headline. Okay, and you'll see this, like on their Facebook pages, breaking news, such and such, da da da, and you're like, oh my gosh! And so they know. I mean, it's no different than if you write a soap opera, or that's what it's becoming. Okay, seriously, news is becoming a soap opera to me. Okay, so that's that. When the show's over, well, is he going to die? Is he not going to die? Is she going to have an affair? Is she not going to have an affair?
next week?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And so that you just got to tune in. So they're just clinging to headlines. Okay, and
But
a lot
the
of
headlines
times
are very
the
selective.
headlines are
Absolutely.
not always
The headlines
accurate.
are very selective.
what they want you to
One of the things that
believe.
really
Yeah.
ticked me off about this entire election is you couldn't hear the media speak about it or see anything in print about it without them talking about it being a midterm election. Like they were pushing people away from going to vote.
Correct.
This is a midterm election. You
No big
should,
deal.
You
Right.
should
No big deal.
care about
Yeah,
this
about
because
it.
you know what?
Brush this
This
under
is
the
your
carpet.
local and your state government.
Correct.
I'm sorry. What does the federal government do for us? What does a presidential election do for us in Wichita and in Kansas? Nothing.
Right.
When we're electing our congressman, our governor, and all that stuff,
That's
that
those
would
that are
affect
supposed to
us
speak for us.
directly.
Yes.
Right.
Period.
Yes, right.
And they should put emphasis on that and not try to draw away from it. Not try to say, you got 98-year-old women out there voting because that's what they do. They don't know what it's about. They catch the dirty, nasty ads somebody puts out there with the flag waving in the background, and that's what they want to vote for because they got the pretty red, white, and blue.
Yes.
I do want to say one thing here, just for a minute. I met so many wonderful people. So you can never take that away from me, ever. I met so many amazing people, and just being able to listen to them, and even if it was just for a little bit, to give them a hug and to say, hey, I'm listening, and you're in my prayers. That was honestly some of the most amazing times I've ever spent, and I just want to say that's why these pins are here right now. The bottom one is when Jen and I went to the Ride for the Wall, okay, and Jennifer and I were both given pendants from a very nice gentleman there that was involved, and everybody was riding from the West Coast to Washington D.C. and we were holding flags as all the motorcycle riders headed into town. And then the other pin, which is the one on top, this one always chokes me up. This is from one of the supporters, and I went to with Anthony, Kansas, and his father, he served in the military. His father served, and his grandfather and grandmother served. She was in what was known then as the Ladies Auxiliary because women were not active in the military.
Right.
So that's passed away, so is his grandfather, but this was his grandmother's pin.
Oh, how
So,
sentimental.
yeah, I know. And I'm just like, so those were the people that I feel like that we got the opportunity to talk for, even though we were censored, even though we were duct taped our mouths closed. I mean, don't believe, they tried everything. Okay, but there's still these people that I know in my heart of hearts. I'll never forget them, ever.
And I'm sure they'll never forget you.
I'm
but
sure they won't.
I know, but you know what, we guys? I'm sorry, Jim, but we got to take a hard break. Okay. Part of the real life and the real world. We got to do a commercial break. We'll be right back. Thanks, y'all.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
At Economy Motors, we know that everything costs more these days. Gas costs more, utilities cost more, groceries cost more. But what's one thing that will not cost you more? Buying your next vehicle with us. Everything we have is priced $12,995 or under. Bad credit, no worries. No crazy gimmicks and no bait and switch. We keep it real. Economy Motors, home of easy pay. We've got your back.
Don't worry, please, don't worry, 'cause at Economy Motors, we got your back.
Hammond Liquor, home of the coldest beer in town and lowest prices store-wide, wants to remind you of very important savings days. Wine Day, Tuesdays get 20% off. Beer Day, Wednesdays get 10% off. Microbrews and imports. Open till 8 p.m. every Sunday. Hammond Liquor, West Kellogg and Tyler Road.
At Trailer Town, we're all about selection, service, and safety. Trailer Town Selection, hundreds to choose from, small to large, lightweight aluminum to heavy-duty steel, all types, new and used. Trailer Town Service, the best in the Midwest, from wiring to axle repair. Trailer Town Safety. Yes, we do Department of Transportation inspections. Trailer Town. Trusted, family owned. 301 West 53rd Street North. Knapp Weaponry is the home of Wichita's newest indoor temperature-controlled shooting range. Mention this ad for 2-for-1 pricing weekdays from noon to 4. Knapp Weaponry is an NRA Business Alliance member that offers NRA and state-certified instruction classes, training, and women's unarmed self-defense classes. We buy and sell new and used guns and offer gunsmith services. Knapp Weaponry offers a free range session with the purchase of a new gun. We also offer transfer services and an array of ammo. Knapp Weaponry, the West Side's best-kept secret.